role or responsibility do corporations have when it comes to helping their teams manage stress or even the mental wellness of employees?
That is a really good question. Exactly the amount you wish to have. So what does that mean? If you have a company and you spend 8-10 hours a day with a group of people near or in the vicinity working on similar projects, right? That's a heck of a lot of time. If you're okay not really caring about those people, that says something about you. And I'm not judging. This is how things were patterned for a long time. So I'm not judging, but you've got to be honest to yourself. What is that I wish? And many people will say, you know what? I just don't care. I don't want to care about that person. I'm glad I have nothing to do with them. Well, that's that conscious part of your brain that needs to be really thought about and realize that, well, you don't care about that person. And you're able to say that, well, we spend 40 hours in near vicinity working on similar kind of stuff together from different angles. If you're okay not caring about that person, probably that not caring aspect of you is present somewhere where you're supposed to care, you know? And when it comes to your kids, let's say, just ask yourself honestly, are you really participating the way you want to? Or you have a certain level of guilt deep inside because you're not attending yourself to those relationships. So this is where it gets tough, because it's not a judgment, but you gotta be honest with yourself first if you really wanna make a difference. In my opinion, if you look at your employees as a leader, right? And you look at your employees, all right, so what are the big stressors in general for an individual today? Well, financial matters and pressures is a very viable stress for most people. 185 million people in the United States currently are not able to really save anything. And at the end of the month, they are scratching their head when it comes to the basic needs. Okay, 185 million. This is not my figuring out. This is statistical data available for anyone. 185 million people. Chances are many of your employees belong in that 185 million people. And remind you, whoever is not in that 185 million, that doesn't mean they have thousands and thousands of dollars saved. Not at all. They're just able to finish the month without the headache. If you have an employee who's thinking about those things, they have the pressures, right? It's going to affect many aspects of their lives. Another very big thing, spousal problems. Huge problem, huge stressor for people in general. So as an employer, as a leader, founder, CEO, what have you, I think I should care about this. That person who's sitting there making decisions, applying themselves to my business, is not bringing her or his best because a big compartment of their brain is shut down. Because when you're stressed out, cortisol hormone levels elevate in your system. And when cortisol hormones elevate in the system, what happens with your system? Your focus narrows, okay? When your focus narrows, it's limited amount of things you're going to be able to think about. You're not going to be able to see outlier processes, right? So you're essentially have an individual there with a bunch of potential. I really believe every human being who lived 30 years, they have 30 years of experience of living, they have a lot of potential in them. Doesn't matter who they are. But you're never going to be accessing that potential at work because the stress, their narrow vision, you're getting a shadow version of them. You hire someone with a great resume, guess what? If you don't really take care of them at every level, you're never going to get the person you hired. Over time, you're getting a less and less version. Corporate wellness is not about just giving them a chance to do some push-ups and stuff like that. You also need to have a gut check. All right, so am I going to help these people? What is the amount of financial comfort this person needs to have, which is generally talking about 20% net disposable income. So they have that sense that I am putting things aside. I have a security net. I don't need to worry about the day to day. I don't need to worry about the end of the month or even next month or the month after. If you don't help that, the individual is going to be stressed. You will not get the best out of them. Now, imagine just for 1 second, have 100 employees, completely you have available all their life experiences, their genius, 100%. Now compare that to where most of them are stressed out because of life. Now the amount of genius will come out of this group versus that. If you don't believe it's going to affect your profit bottom line at one point, you're greatly mistaken, because this is a competitive edge. That is the past.